Caulfield Cup.
Do you want to hear some of the most hard-hitting, accurate analysis of the Melbourne Cup of all time?
Yes.
Number 11, Knight's Choice. Absolute traffic cone, this.
151 to 1.
Honestly. It just annoys me that horses like this are in the field.
Traffic cone.
Yeah.
Good luck to the connections. That aged terribly.
Yeah, but that sums up the Melbourne Cup in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a dreamer's race.
It really is. Knight's Choice by Extreme Choice.
Explain
who won a
this.
Blue Diamond
Explain this to me.
and won a Moya Stakes, I think. It doesn't make any sense to me. The breeding buffs would be looking at that, just scratching their heads, just thinking, is Extreme Choice just an absolute stud?
Yeah.
And just upgrades any mare that sees him, irrespective of what her form was. Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sheila Laxon, 23 years between drinks, 2001, Ethereal.
Unbelievable.
Probably more favoured in the market.
To be fair, so 151 when we did the preview, he started 60s.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot of stable cash. And Team Red from one of our good mates, Mr. Hackett, on Twitter was saying he was the biggest liability for them before the race. That was before the race.
Wow, just the Queenslanders just having a crack?
And I think the stable must have had one almighty go.
Yeah, they must have.
Because I was looking through his form, right? I'm like, okay, how could I miss this? Because he was beaten 16 lengths, I think, basically side by side, like the likes of Warp Speed and those types of horses in the Caulfield Cup. The key to that horse is good ground. So he finished second, I think, to Faulkner Park in the Q22.
Yeah.
That's like the form references. But on a rock hard track in a Brisbane Cup, he finished fourth. So is Allegron winning that? Am I tipping Allegron in that race? No, I'm not.
No, you can't. You
So-
can't. There's no... It would be 1,000,000 to 1. He was 60 or 70 to 1 when the race jumped. It would be 1,000,000 to 1 for any podcaster, irrespective of how much they study the form in horse racing. Like, it'd be 1,000,000 to 1 for them to put Knight's Choice on top, because there is nothing at all that suggested in his prep that he was capable of winning a Melbourne Cup. Look, we're just a couple of casual punters, all right, having a crack, putting our opinion out there. And evidently that one did not age very well. And also, sometimes you can put an opinion out there and some people just want to tear it apart after the fact, which I think shows great character. You just got to laugh at that. I couldn't believe it.
Of all the things to get like torn apart for as well,
couldn't
is
believe it.
like for that.
I couldn't believe
For
it.
that, like, have you tipped it?
Yeah,
Like,
that's look, you have some serious self-restraint, because your boy, after a couple of free beers yesterday at the track, would have just been on one. And so it's good that I didn't. But my response literally would have been like, well done, where's your slips? Bruh. All right, drifters. Look, we don't ask for much from you guys at all. Only that you subscribe, like, download, watch on YouTube.
Tell your mates.
Only bet specifically with the good people at Ned's hashtag.
Vote for us in the hottest 100.
Yep.
All that sort of stuff.
That we don't ask for that much.
Yeah.
I'll ask a little favour. If you're on Twitter, if you use X, the great platform that it is, it's an absolute cesspool, just go onto our page, and one half of us, 50% of us, nearly nailed the trifecta in the Melbourne Cup.
And this is the other thing.
Nearly
right?
nailed the trifecta, all right?
This is the thing, right? It's like there were 3 horses that were in the finish within that. And it's like, and tipped out Fancy Man.
Top 10
Top
markets.
10. He ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 7th. Like he did. I feel like I couldn't do too much more.
There is nothing more that you could have done. So do us a favour, drifters. Can you find that post if you go on Twitter? Can you venture on there? And can you ask the person who tipped Knight's Choice in our comments in that particular post, can you just say, where's your slip, bruh?
Well, typically, well,
Because I want to see how much old mate won.
I think he must be a listener because he quoted what we were saying word for word as well.
Yeah.
So
We put our opinion out there. Therefore, it is everyone is entitled to tear us down at any point.
Absolutely.
Because we put our opinion out there.
But constructive criticism. There was no construction in that.
There's no construction at all.
It was literally
foundationless.
Yeah.
Foundationless.
It was built on sand.
It was built on sand. Leaning Tower of Pisa type operation. Constructive. So yeah, drifters, can you just ask old mate where his slip is? 'Cause I want to see it. How much did you win, brah?
Now, I got sent some slips from a drifter.
How good?
How's this for me opening this up around midday? Boys, I've finally done it. Ha ha ha. Picked up a nice little win in the cup. 46K to be exact.
Holy dooly!
46 grand. I was like, sorry, what? Mate, you have to tell us more about it. So, what he's done is he backed Sea King and Knight's Choice, obviously. So he had $60 on Knight's Choice at 126s. Won 7.5. Chucked another 20 on him when he firmed into 60s. So he's taking the unders. He was that confident. And then I'm assuming, because he only had 4%, that would have been... What would that have been? That would have been a first four, I'd imagine. Or maybe 4% on a different tote for a trifecta. 130.36. Large. His name is Jared. I won't say last name, just to protect his identity a little bit. But congratulations to you, mate. That's what the Melbourne Cup's all about.
I am so proud of you, Jared. Jared the Drifter. That's what we're calling him. He will live on in folklore forever. That's exactly right. It's what it's all about. I think the only people in our office who had a win were literally a couple of females who don't really get around horse racing too much, but they'll have their one bet of the year on the cup, and they saw that one at a big price and thought they'd chuck $5 on it.
Bang! How good. Love that.
And that's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about. Tell you what else it's all about. Learned punters like us, in far more learned punters than us, like professional gamblers, had an absolute strip out on Melbourne Cup Day, right? So it wasn't the best of days. Good horse. Yes,
Yeah, he was a good
on
horse.
Melbourne Cup Day, but it's a day for the casual punter.
Yep.
I.e., one of our mates, Axe,
Yeah.
texted me after race one, mate, just won $1,000 off that race. I'm like, huh? That thing was 16-1. So he must have had 15 each way, 50 each way, or bang.
That's what it's all about.
Love that for him.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, look, the victor managed to find 2 winners on Cup Day, which I think is an achievement.
Congratulations to him. It is an achievement.
But look, something that we learnt from yesterday, and I think it's going to play a factor, and you know more about this than I do, tomorrow and probably Saturday, is the track being very favourable if you're on pace.
2 things. So it's going to be 3 days in a row. Don't get lulled in. I love Flemington when it's a northerly wind, because leaders can't win. And it's like, all right, I'll just like put lines through it. And it's like, isn't the farcical tempos? It's like, maybe they overcome that. But like, my God. Cup Day? I feel like it kind of levels out a little bit after races over 2,500 metres. I feel like it kind of levels out because not all of them. Most of the horses in these races can't even run the trip.
No.
So, but the circle races on Cup Day, Oaks Day, and Champions Day, all southwesterly winds, up to 25 k's an hour. Now, for you historians in the room, that is the days that Pride of Jenny won on Derby Day and Champions Day last year. Exact same. So, circle races, it will be beneficial to be on speed, and coupled with this is these tracks have had, 2 weeks of glorious sunshine on it. So they are going to be upgraded to good tracks, and good tracks at the best of times, even if it isn't a leader bias, it's hard to run down on them, run down the opposition. So take that, please consider that, and if you see a pattern, either adjust or just shoulder arms. There are so many races on in Australia. Just because it's a Group 1, you don't have to bet.
I often say to you, geez, there's a lot of horses in Australia.
Oh, my God.
Because you just, every 2 minutes when you're sitting in the pub watching Sky Racing, it's like, where's that?
Yeah.
And where's that?
Yeah.
There's 20 horses in that race. Where's that? There's so many horses in Australia, therefore there's so much racing. Good advice. Keep your powder dry. Look, did your boy learn that yesterday? No, I was literally texting my co-host here saying this thing will win the next because it's the leader. And it does. Did I get on it? No.
15s into 7s or something.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
all right. Let's look through the windshield. So, let's go to Thursday. Only race we're going to cover is the Oaks. 2,500 metres Group 1 for the 3-year-old filly set weights. I have zero interest in this race, but I'm literally paid to give an opinion for this race. So I thought the speed, this will, similar to the Derby, I think it will be the most genuine contest of all the lead-ups so far because you have the different form lines coming in here. But Waterhouse Bot, Killcare Beach Girl, drawn extremely well in Barrier 2. She'll likely go forward with Noises, who I did say would go forward in the Spring Champion, and she did. She comes down for this as well at an enormous price. Treasure the Moment's right beside her, so I think she'll follow her across. And then the likes of like Harlem Queen will probably get a position and maybe 2 done discreet.
Yep, I agree with that.
So, are you team Sydney Fillies or are you team Victorians?
Neither. It's all dross, isn't it? I'm going to spec. There's 2 horses that I'll probably spec if I decide to have a bet tomorrow, which, come on. Killcare Beach Girl, because it'll lead.
Yep.
And it's at a price where I can happily have something small on it. And just I said after the Wake Falls, like, I don't know if I want to be with that race heading into the Oaks, but similar to the Derby, it's like, well, if all the lead-up races are pretty poor, then therefore it's just going to be a poor edition.
Well,
and therefore you just need to find the winner, right? Doesn't matter if it's a good quality race or not.
Exactly.
She faded into third last race, but that was on a day where you didn't probably want to be leading in circle races over 2,000 metres. This is a bit further, so you're right. It's probably just going to be who the best stayer is amongst these fillies. But looking into her breeding, 2 darn hot, same sire as Broadsiding. Her Damn Absolute Joy is out of Zabeel. Her Damn Absolute Joy won races out to 2,200 metres, and she actually ran 4th in a Queensland Oaks, I believe. So she clearly has some staying pedigree. I know where she's going to be in the running. A lot of these jockeys probably won't try to beat up their filly just to make sure it runs the distance. She could be so far in front that she just holds on. Classic Waterhouse Bot. So happy to have her on top at a big price. I do like Harlem Queen coming out of the boys race. The Spring Champion ran 4th there. She's got form around Lady Shenandoah. So I don't mind her as well at $7.50. I think you're right. I think Blakey Bill Shin from Gate 5. He'll know how the track's playing. He's a smart guy. I think she could get the 1-1. So they're the 2 for me.
Yeah. I have no interest. I might have $5 on a horse that I've been very keen to see out to this distance, but then from my learnings of Derby, I'm Natalie Maruglia torn because I feel like I wanted to be with the breeding kind of statistics and makeup for the Victoria Derby, right?
Yeah.
And that was a key lesson that I learned from that St. Emilion. He was by Schnitzel. Don't back him. But now I'm seeing what Extreme Choice has done.
It doesn't make any sense.
With Nice Choice.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, after I make this point, before we get into this Champions Day, I want to make one more point about Nice Choice. Anyway. But yeah, I'm looking at Rag Queen by D'Argento. Now, Victoria Day, her dam, I believe, not only didn't win, but I don't think she raced over 1,200 metres. So I'm like, I'm in an absolute pretzel because to the eye, I feel like she's going to run it out. But D'Argento, he ran in a Cox Plate, I believe. Mm-hmm. He might have run in a Derby when he was a 3-year-old. I don't know. I think, did he win a Rosehill Guineas maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Or a Randwick Guineas?
Yeah,
one of the 2.
Like
So, I don't know. I'll take a punt on her. She's 23-1. And you know what? I want to ruin the party for the drifters in the Group 1 tipping competition. So I'm going wide this weekend. Just go bang, bang, double points. I'm going to take it, bruh.
Maybe your rise up the ladder will coincide with the Sydney sources. Who I wanted to shout out in the tipping comp last week, I mentioned it but didn't actually say, was Jake Milne, good friend of the podcast. He's got 10 points on Derby Day, and he's skyrocketed into like 5th or 6th spot. So well done, Milne.
Yeah. Of the rest, I thought Pleasure Artist from the Spring Champion. She's a smart little filly. I do think she'll be better in the autumn though, but I don't necessarily think her breeding suggests that she'll appreciate this. Like Pleasure Artist, she's out of Trapeze Artist, you know what I'm saying? And I think her dam from a very quick, she's a Piero mare, her dam, I think she might have been unraced from so a bit unsure. Yeah. Powers of Opal, you know, she was the one who was disappointing on Derby Day. $1.70, please.
Jeez, unbelievable.
Then Harlan Queen. I'm Team Sydney this weekend.
Yep.
What I did want to make. So,
Knight's Choice?
Yes. Additional point on him. I did see on Twitter that apparently the connections after it might have been his run in the Winx Guineas, the Winx at the Sunshine Coast.
The Sunshine Coast Guineas. Called Winx Guineas now.
Winx Guineas. Apparently the offers from Hong Kong were biblical for him.
I did hear that, yeah.
And the connections knocked it back. So that is a hell of a story. That is such a good story arc. But there was a very well said and well learned comment that I was like, you're spot on, bruh. For every Knight's Choice, there's a Canaan. Remember that horse?
Yes, I do remember.
They offered $3.2 million for him.
That's right, yeah.
And I think he went on to maybe place in like a benchmark 78 race. We own a benchmark 78 horse. Who's won? That's to give context to this.
That's $3.2 million.
For the second at Portsea.
Is a lot of money, drifters.
Who, by the way, was a nice little return to form, I feel.
I think so too. Yeah. And I saw her in the stables before she went out and raced, and she was a bit worked up. She was a bit stamping her foot a little bit.
Ready to go.
I said to JB, Jack Bruce, it's like, how's she going? He's like, this means she'll run well.
Bang. Yeah, right.
He was right.
Cantankerous.
Yeah, cantankerous. That's the word I was looking for.
All right. Champions Day. 15 to 25 kilometre southwesterly winds at Flemington means that you want to be on speed. Weather looks absolutely biblical. Fine. Hot. The track's going to dry out. Even more so when it's windy. And the rail is out 8 metres. I'm cooking up this little recipe and it's coming up on speed. So basically all my tips for these races are going to be on speed horses, except for the sprints. Sprints is an absolute lottery. Wind doesn't matter as much. Let's go to race 6, the Champion Sprint, 1200 metres Group 1, weight for age. I was not expecting Bella Nipotina to be here.
She's just an iron horse, isn't she?
Like, what else does she owe them? Are they just eyeing off Winx's record now?
Maybe. She owes them absolutely nothing, but at the same time, we've learned about her. She just thrives on just racing. She's a tough mare. She's earned my respect 10 times over, Bella Nipotina. She's not my top selection because I always underestimate her. But she can absolutely win this race.
Can I make a case against her?
For sure.
Now, she hasn't been the best.
Wait. Are you sure you want to share an opinion on this podcast? What if you're wrong?
She hasn't been the Bella Nipotina that we know and love now for all these 10 starts, but she's had 10 starts at the track and she's never won. And she would have only, for the majority of those, I'd say, would be down the straight, sprinting during those. So on that reason alone, and that it is going to be a rock hard track as well. I don't think she races as well on a rock hard track, even though her strike rate is phenomenal. I think she does like the cutout a little bit more. So I'm happy to risk her.
Fair enough. They're throwing your boy Barrakeel into the deep end here, the Champions Sprint.
Love it.
have a throw at the stumps. I think $10 is a generous price for him.
Well, he was $6 when we were doing the review podcast on Sunday, but $10 is more about the mark. But I also don't think Bella Nipotina, she was at about 7s and unlikely. Now she's here and she's $350 and she's favourite. So Barraquil on top selection, why not?
Yeah,
I'm just with the new brigade.
There's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be.
So
I think you can run a belter, Barraquil. Gate 1 down the straight,
whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Nah, especially because Overpass is right beside him and he's just going to tuck in behind him. And then when that horse falls in a heap, second up, he's just going to go, see you, brah, on the rail, zoom up it.
This isn't the Winterbottom Stakes. What's Overpass doing here?
Careful, mate. He might win now.
Oh, no. It's almost like it's like you can only pick one horse. It's like you can only pick one horse on top, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? I'm going to back Mark on Giga Kick.
Giga.
Oh, he was... The best thing about the Everest was seeing this guy return to form. He gets back on the straight. He looked like a horse who probably wanted a little bit further than 1,200 metres in the Everest, I believe. And the 1,200 metre Flemington 6 furlongs sometimes suits a horse who can run a good 1,400 metres more. Perfectly drawn, stalk the speed, and I'll have Giga Kick on top. I like a couple of roughies as well if you want to have a bit of a spec in those markets. Drifters. The bottom two, number 11, Private Life, and number 12, Bellatrix Star. Private Life obviously coming from the Guineas back to 1,200 metres. Not usually set up I like too much, but I think at $26, he's only had 5 starts. So lightly raced. He could be a horse who continues to go up a level. And Bellatrix Star, $12. Like she was well beaten by Switzerland, but Switzerland went through the roof in the Coolmore.
She was held up.
She was.
Well.
She came across heels, and where's the
Ceiling?
The ceiling for this filly? We don't know yet.
No.
So Bellatrix Star, she's $12. I think she can run a belter too. So they're probably the 3 for me. But I'm keen on Giga Kick. I think you'll run super.
Yeah, I've got Giga Kick in my numbers. I'd be silly not to. And Bellatrix Star, I thought Lady Laguna.
Yes,
was nearly a phenomenal result for us last weekend. But she's just she could be the next Bella Nipotina.
She really could be.
Like, she's just an absolute iron horse. Like, very similar profiles. Bella Nipotina kicked off as a 2-year-old. I reckon Lady Laguna was one of the earliest 2-year-olds.
We backed her up here.
Yeah.
In Brisbane when she went around at like $8, Lady Laguna. That might have been her first or second race.
And then she was racing as a autumn 2-year-old, and she's just been doing it forever. So, yeah.
Who's hotter, Lady Laguna or Nash?
Oh, Nash has pipped her by nose.
He's hot.
Yeah. Significant nose on Nash.
It is significant. It's certainly a point of interest.
Yeah. All right, the Champions Mile. Now, it would be disingenuous of me to ask you of your opinion on the connection, not connections, the connection of Pride of Jenny, I assume, kicking off Declan Bates and putting on Benny Mellon.
Got to feel sorry for a fellow Declan a little bit, don't you?
Ridiculous. I hate seeing this.
Yeah. It's not a great look. I think, you know, when she clearly fails in the Cox Plate and there's fingers being pointed, quite often you can see the jockey getting the heave ho. You do see it vice versa, and jockeys jumping on a different horse. That happens all the time. This is slightly different circumstances, and when I say slightly, bro won on in the Queen Elizabeth by like 10 lengths. Are you kidding me? And that was one of the best rides we've ever seen.
This race last year, Empire Rose last year, All Star Mile. Do you want me to continue?
No, that's plenty. But yeah, it's just loyalty. But anyway, she's not our horse. And the owner is entitled to do what the owner wants to do.
I asked the Drifters what they thought.
Oh, yeah? What do the Drifters reckon?
Nick Scala, very stiff in my opinion. King Charles into a Cox Plate was more at fault for the performance than Declan Bates. That has summarised this entire thing in an absolute nutshell. Absolutely. And let me look at this. She was beaten 16 lengths. That seems like an enormous margin. It's 4 lengths away from the fucking track record. Relax. The short ball, mental. Marcus Williams. My thoughts are Tony seems like a real prick. Adam Ennetts. The owner is the biggest dickhead in racing. One bad race and the jockey gets the boot. Chuka. Good point by Chuka. If Tony didn't kickstart Dean Holland's GoFundMe, he'd be the most disliked racing personality. I didn't know that about Tony Alderbrae, but well, there you go. It just rubs me the wrong way. And there's not going to be anyone cheering harder than me, even though Pride of Jenny is my on-top selection because of the whole setup of this weekend of racing with this breeze. And when we were doing our review podcast, she was what, $9 or $10? She's into $5.50 now. But there is going to be no one cheering harder in the straight. Another Will on the quick backup with Declan Bates on board. That would be so sweet.
It would be, wouldn't
Such sweet justice.
it? It would be, wouldn't it?
I would love that.
Yeah, Pride of Jenny can absolutely win this race. Geez, I would have been more confident if Declan Bates stuck on the horse, though. But seriously, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she's a cantankerous mare. And who do you reckon has the best grip on her?
Oh, probably the thing.
The thing? He's Irish, mate.
So 10 starts. Sorry, last 12 months. 10 starts, 4 wins, 4 seconds, and 2 outside of the top 3, including the last start. So
anyway, I've got Antino on top. Shit gate. Don't know where he's going to be. Gets Mark.
Blakey Bill is suspended.
Blakey Bill's suspended, yeah. So
naughty boy. So is Jamie, I think.
Yeah, Jamie is. Anyway, so gets Mock. I'll think about that Turak win, and you know when a horse has a win like that, and for some reason it just sort of unlocks something in them to go to another level. I like that he's been kept fresh. Keep fresh. He's been kept fresh. Keep fresh with
for the 1,600 metres.
Kept fresh with Mark. Yeah, I think because he's been kept fresh, he's not on the quick backup. He didn't run the grand final, i.e. a Cox Plate or an Empire Rose or a King Charlie. Kept on ice, and he's clearly still got to be wound up because I think Uncle Tony wants to take him to Hong Kong. So yeah, Antino on top for me. At this stage, I think Pride of Jenny can absolutely win. Broadsiding and Fangirl as well. It's a tricky little race and a great betting race, I think. Yeah, they're the ones for me.
Fangirl. Where's she at?
I think we'll know a lot more after this race when J-Mac's on board.
Yeah.
And she's drawn gate 9.
Well, he was on board last start.
Yeah, I know. On a dry deck, take her back. But again, if the track's playing silly buggers, then she's got no hope.
She never draws a gate, Fangirl.
Very rarely.
Ever.
Very rarely.
I think her class, 8.5 million. I think we said this about Stormboy first up, and we got absolutely rinsed on TikTok for it. About Stormboy, where bro was racing for his career. Possible for Fangirl here?
Racing for a career?
Maybe. 6-year-old mare. She was very disappointing in that King Charles. She never got going. Shifty track, sure. I don't know.
I think you forgive one bad wrong.
Absolutely. Like she had that scare earlier this year. I think she needs to put in a good performance here.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes mares can just go off the ball, can't they? Yep. No, fair enough. You've got to have an opinion sometimes.
Yeah. Amelia's Jewel.
That's her last week. That Empire Rose mile race against her own sex. That's her.
Yep.
And it nearly was her. I'm still on the floor about that, Drifters. I tell you what. Yeah. Not against this lot. I think she's not up to the tippy top.
Okay. Yeah, I've got Pride of Jenny on top just with the setup for her. I think she's just going to get the track and trip and racing and wind conditions to suit here. And she wasn't, she was beaten 16 lengths in a Cox Plate, but it was that Cox Plate. You know what I mean?
She went so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. And that's the reason why Via went through the roof, because she was able to absorb the pressure and then kick away.
And there was Prognosis doing the donkey work. There's no Prognosis here. There's My Oberon, who's probably going to be next in running.
You can't see him anywhere. Where's Prognosis?
The prognosis is that My Oberon will be next in running with probably Mr. Brightside and Another Will. So I think Mr. Brightside and Another Will are probably best suited here. But of the two, I want to be with Another Will because I think he does his best racing at Flemington, which was confirmed last week. And I think on top of the ground, he probably I doubt they've actually been against each other, those two horses. In fact, I'd be shocked if they had. But I think Another Will, on top of the ground, at Flemington, I think he has just as much talent as, say, a Mr. Brightside. I really rate this horse. I think Flemington is... And with this, the way this tempo is going to be, they're going to be strung out. We saw him get absolutely poleaxed in the straight, was held up until the 150 and still ran home the meeting fastest last 200 metres.
Absolutely poleaxed.
If he has an entire straight to do his darndest, I think he might be able to run down Pride of Jenny. So I'm big on Pride of Jenny, and I'm big on Another Will. So I'll be playing them in a Quinella on my profile. Now, this gets me fucking up and about. The Champions Stakes, 2,000 metres, Group 1, weight for age. Your top weight, without a fight. The big fella's back.
He's back.
Mark Zara takes the ride. He jumps off Royal Champion.
Mark.
And he also would have had the choice to ride the stablemate Deny Knowledge. But he goes with...
Wasn't interested.
Goes with the Jewel Cup winner from last year. Because he's on a path to a Hong Kong race. I don't know which one it is. 2,000 metres. Anyway, maybe 2,400. But he's probably not the starting point, even though I have started with him. Via Sistine, $1.70. Barry 4, J-Mac. Are you interested?
How do they beat her?
Track bias, brah.
Oh, God.
Honestly, mate, like, it can get a travelator at Flemington.
It really can.
Like, race 8, hot day.
Yep. No, you are right. There just looks to be so much early speed in this race to me.
Yep.
Which may be the only way. That
if you're looking at race nets, right, they've without a fight going forward. Like that ain't right.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah. Like,
in what universe?
So I don't think there's as much speed as, like, say, the race maps have it. I think Deny Knowledge is your clear leader with something like an Elias kicking up. Maybe a Royal Champion is a nutter, so he will go forward as well.
I like him, though.
Yeah, I think
something about him.
Yeah,
he's a bit naughty.
Yeah, he's a Group 3 horse, but
yeah, he is
over here. Then maybe Kingswood, but I think they'll be looking for positions. You know, I think Deny Knowledge will be leading this field.
Kingswood's also nommed in the 5 Diamonds, I believe, and I think he's a bet there. He's like $12 there. Anyway, yeah, it looks to be a stack of speed. I think VR with J-Mac will just stalk him and just go past him. I'm not betting in this race because she's $1.70, and you know I don't play into horses like that. But even if she goes like 3 or 4 lengths worse than she did in her Cox Plate, which is probably very likely, I think she still beats them pretty comfortably. Mm-hmm. Happy to be proven wrong. I like Kingswood as a horse. Like he's $35 here. He'll be in my numbers. I think he's a good horse, Kingswood. Good horse. Yeah. I thought Docklands would probably go back to the mile.
Yeah.
As opposed to staying at the 2,000. Interesting that Elias is running over 2,000 metres and he's not in the Queen Elizabeth, which is 26 or 28, whatever it is.
Best thought.
Interesting. Yeah, a bit dross in this race as well. Just to keep things interesting. I think Via scared them all off.
Yeah, I think without a fight we'll be running into the top 4 because that is the class of the animal that he is. I think he will be fat though. I think it will be enormous.
Bro, he's been in a paddock for 12 months.
Yeah. And
That's a well-earned break.
and if we're to go off what the Freedmans were saying, after his Queensland campaign, he was bloody running through fences. I think he just loves to run, this horse.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly, he can do it over 2 miles pretty comfortably.
But he has he's got that amazing sprint on him as well. Just absolutely explodes.
You need the lungs to run out the trip, but you also need to turn a foot to win a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, which we've learnt with Akita Sushi, unfortunately.
Yeah.
0.
That's exactly what happened to Akita. I was like, Hutch has picked the winner. And good friend of the podcast, Jess Mitchell, was on as well. So I was because when Sea King jumped last out of the gates, I literally was just like, fuck's sake. Like, I was like, I've lost this race. I was like, Holly Dool, we're tearing up that visa next time, bruh. So I was like, well, there's no way I can win this race. So I was watching Zardozi because I had a small bet on her. And I was watching Akita Sushi. And I was like, he's going to win this race. Yeah. And bro, just he wasn't going up and down, but he just didn't have the turn of foot to put the race away.
0 spark.
0 spark.
I said that though.
You did
That's
say
him.
that.
I knew what I was getting myself into. I thought he was going to basically get in the exact position he was and just grind away.
Bro loomed up.
But the sprinting nature of Knight's choice just got over him. Fuck me, Dad. Honestly.
He just
fucking hell.
He bro loomed up. I couldn't believe what I was saying.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Akita Sushi.
So yeah, I've got who do I have? I have Denied Knowledge on top here. Honestly, leaders. That is where I'm playing at. $23, that is utter madness. I can tell you now, she would not start that price. Like she did in the Might and Power. And I think people are they're maybe putting a line through her after that Caulfield Cup run. A lot of horses finished around where she did, and far worse. She would have beaten Warp Speed by 6 lengths, and that horse has nearly won a Melbourne Cup. And how am I forgetting about the winner of the Melbourne Cup, Extreme Choice, of course. Soft track, not her go, back on top of the ground. She's drawn out wide, but she'll just find the front anyway. I think she, at $26, 1 by 3 all day, Deny Knowledge. I think the placings are up for grabs here because of the way this track's going to play.
Mm-hmm. No, well said. But yeah, Via on top. Kingswood will be in my numbers. Without a fight, 1,000,000% has to be in my numbers. And I actually think Elias from that gate with Nash, he'll probably run a race as well. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
But I've kind of got a set against him just because they...
It's not the horse's fault.
No, it's not, but I don't know. I take it personally. When I feel like I'm so much better and then it doesn't eventuate.
Yeah.
I just want to run for my money.
Geez, we can be precious, can't we?
Yeah, I know.
Really precious.
Yeah. Anyway.
Queen
Elizabeth Stakes is race 3 on the card. 2,600 Group 3 handicap. Now, for all those Get On fans, they spent probably the majority of the program talking about this horse, Kinesiology. Not about the Melbourne Cup.
Kinesiology?
Yes. How do you say it?
Kinesiology.
Can run on a bit from looking at his form. Won 3 times out of 10 attempts and ran second.
Bro loves being a bridesmaid.
Yeah, so he's a Quinella horse. Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old, barrier 1. D lane on for Chris Waller. Getting a lot of rides for Uncle Chris. 54 kilos. $2.60. What do you reckon?
Look, if you had the inside word from one of the owners when it was a bigger price and you got on then,
of course,
then you'd be happy to see him win.
It didn't even occur to me that said owner would be in the ownership. Of course he is.
Of course he is. Just assume now that when you see the Aussie Kia Silks and it's an imported staying type, just assume now.
He's one of them.
He's one of them now.
Yeah. You know who won this race last year?
Let me guess.
These Silks.
Not Solcombe. No, Solcombe was in the Cup. That was 2 years ago.
No, he ran second. Solcombe. Actually, no, it might have been No. It might have been. I swear it was. Anyway, keep going.
Solcombe won this fresh off the plane, didn't he? 2 years ago?
Yeah, keep going.
Who won it last year? Same Silks. Oh, our guy Muramasa.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was Simples.
Yeah.
It was like $4 or $5.
Oh, yeah. No. I was, yeah, no.
Actually, Miramasa would have ran a mighty race yesterday, I reckon.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but
Dry track.
yeah. You know, he would have been near the speed. He would have drawn well.
Top 6 chance.
Yeah. Would have been one for your top 5s. So you on this input? Clearly.
Already.
You already have?
Already am.
You know you can you know you have text messages on this thing, right? I feel like we're a veteran in our 240 run partnership here and above.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Well, look, put it this way, Drifters. Look, are you taking the $2.60 about a European Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old that has staying form and likes to finish in the top 2? You taking that, or are you taking the $6.50 about Barclay Square?
I know what I'm taking.
We saw what Barclay Square form did in the Melbourne Cup. Sea King did nothing.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you take it immediately back from gate 1 and somehow your last coming around the bend, your widest coming around the bend, sorry. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like...
You know, I didn't hear, and I don't think the horse stepped particularly well, but I saw so many people absolutely slaughtering Joe Moreira for his ride on Buckaroo. I'm like, bruh, he drew barrier 21.
Yeah.
He hasn't won over 1,800 metres. What did you expect?
What did you expect? What did you expect?
Team Green were giving you 15 to 1 to get on. You could basically rip up your tickets there.
Oh, yeah, God.
I'm with Serpentine here.
The Serpent.
Akita Sushi form. I think he's in ripping form, this horse. Things didn't go right for him in the Metropolitan, but his resumption against Elias was sensational.
He looked good in the yard when we saw him too.
And I think he races quite well. Maybe Moonee Valley's his track. But I think he will run a mighty race for you. I think he'll be up on speed again. J-Mac takes the ride, which he rarely rides for this stable. But I think, yeah, I just have a feeling that Serpentine's the one you want to be on here. I think he'll control this out front and then just grind them away. Race 4, the Always Welcome Stakes, 1,200 metres listed, handicap. Any firm opinions in this race?
Oh, God.
I thought the speed would have been Front Page, The Astrologist, and Peace Treaty, but I didn't think there was heaps.
Yeah, no. Front page ran super for an old fella in his first race for, what was that, like 6 months in the Kosciuszko. I thought he ran super. Far Too Easy was phenomenal on the day, very hard to beat. It would have been very hard to beat him, irrespective of who you were in that race. I'm leaning towards him, Front Page, because you know where he's going to be in the running. He's going to be leading. It is down the straight, so a little bit different to a circle race, but J-Mac sticks. Got to carry a lot of weight, though.
Would you classify an 8-year-old gelding, early season 8-year-old gelding, who's only had the 25 starts, do you reckon that's lightly raced?
Yeah.
I think he has some issues, Front Page.
Yeah.
I think he has some soundness issues. And you typically see that, and I think another indicator of that is that he's been first up 10 times in 25 starts. He has really short preps, Front Page, and if he does run second up, he's 1 win from 8 attempts. So I might have talked you out of him there, but I want to see him in the Kosciuszko and nothing else. Basically, this horse.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling we might have seen him in the Kosciuszko for the last time. So I'm keen to take him on. I thought there was 2 that I could have a bet on here because I don't think it is going to be a red hot speed. So I think they're going to be quite bunched. So I want 2 horses with a lightning turn of foot. One of them is number 14, Moby Dick at $13. He was an absolute morale beaten at Geelong, where Barber got back in the winner's circle. Huh?
What the hell?
So Moby Dick, barrier 4, D lane, hopefully he gets a run at him, and he's won down the straight before. And then Ray Magnerio can run on a bit, but he to Ray's credit, he does know how to sprint very fast.
He does. You tend to run on when your jockey doesn't show any initiative.
That's unfair. 9 starts, 4 wins, 3 seconds, and a third.
Yeah. I was actually looking at Moby Dick as well, so you might have even talked me into him. Because he beat Headwall first up, I believe.
Yeah.
Headwall won yesterday.
Did they? I don't know if it's a he or she.
He did $6 he was paying in Sydney.
Wow.
So look, that form's stacking up. You might be onto something there.
Yeah.
Moby Dick.
Now, I have what could only be described as a long shot in the matriarch. 2,000 metres, Group 2 for the mares, set weights and penalties. Now, I was going to consult you because I'm seeing a lot of horses that just go up against each other time and time again. I'm talking Lady Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking the likes of Molly Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Private Legacy, Lavore, Firestorm, who was the best thing, into 250, lame after the race. So I think there's... And I don't necessarily think there is a ton of speed in this race. Now, I am praying big time that a girl by the name of Charisse gets a run. Number 17 at 46 to 1. Paddy Maloney in for Team Maloney. This horse was only 1.5 lengths away from Lady Jones in the Tessio Stakes at Moonee Valley. Was last and had to loop him, would have run the most distance in that race, and she finished off super. Now, before that, she actually knocked off Lavore, who was in the Quinella there with Lady Jones, over 1,800 metres at Flemington. She's won at the track, 1 from 1. Barrier 3, I think, is crucial because she's been drawing a little bit awkward. And I think there's going to be a bit of intent with how this track's going to play. I think she's going to be closer to the speed. Now, 46 to 1. I'm just hoping she gets a run, which, you know, I'm ambitious that she will.
Man, for your sake, I hope she does. That's an enormous price. I'm prepared to forgive Firestorm. There's nothing worse than really liking something, gets beat, has clear excuses, then you're not on at the next start. $5 is no gift, obviously. But I don't think I can let it go around without me on. I need Damien Frosty to be positive from that gate and try and get a sit. But there doesn't look to be a stack of speed in this race.
Yeah.
So yeah, forgive Firestorm. I'll be on.
All right, I think that's all from Flemington. Let's go to Rosehill quickly. Race 6 is the Golden Gift for the 2-year-olds. You know, if you're having a bet in here, you might be a little bit of a sicko. But in saying that, I probably will because I was very keen on Icarian Dream. And she went out and won at Warwick Farm. I thought at $7, she could be a nice little play for me because she was clearly one of the best trialers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I thought Icarian Dream was certainly one. Lapis Lazuli.
Yeah.
$41.
Well, yeah, I'd probably need to see more. There's one career run. She'll probably improve.
That's the thing. They can improve sharply.
Yeah.
In the next start. Zachy Lloyd on. Geez, I wish when Athabascan got scratched for the Cup that Zachy Lloyd jumped on the other OTI thing, Sea King, because I would have rather have had him on, I think. But yeah, I agree with you. I carry a dream. But I probably won't have a bet.
The Hot Danish, 1,400 metres, Group 2 for the fillies and mares, set weights. Belclair was pretty impressive last start.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably go forward again. You were getting $26 last start, and you're now getting offered $360.
Sheesh. Yeah, I guess the question you got to ask yourself: can a 7-year-old mare do 2 on the bounce? Like that was a big spike, I think, in her talent wise last start in the invitation. Can she do it twice in a row? I'm not so sure.
2-time Group 1 winner.
2 Group 1s.
Belclair, yeah. Over in New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Over 1,600 metres.
Yeah, I'm with Magic Time. $2.25 with the good people at Neds is no gift, but yeah, I'm confident Magic Time can bounce back and put these away.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Begg said this has actually, been their target race all along. So, yeah, which is funny because you'd think he would have found like but this probably wasn't the right Group 1 for her, you know what I mean? Like, she's not a miler.
It's Group 2.
I know, but there's probably not a different target, you know what I mean?
Goes back to back in the Rupert Clark.
Yeah, she'd probably be weighted out of that, you'd think, wouldn't she?
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's a handicap race. I think she only had, 51 kilos last time, didn't she?
Yeah.
Anyway, she was good that day against the pattern. Anyway, yeah, Magic Time.
Yeah. I'm probably Magic Time, but I don't know. Belclair's just got the map tactical advantage here again, I think. I don't know. Yeah. 5 Diamonds. Now, this is one of the best races of the year.
Group 1.
Listed race. Worth $2 million. Can you believe it?
No.
Assuming your team attrition here, he finally draws a gate, the big fella.
He does. Yeah, I like attrition, and Kingswood, if he gets a run, he's the second emergency. Would probably be my 2 at a decent price, but it doesn't stop there. I think Lindemann can run a big race. Yellow Brick can run a big race.
Docklands is in this.
Docklands is in here as well, yep. So, yeah, it's actually a pretty good race, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think Freedom Rally can run a big race at 20. So, but no, attrition for me. I wish this was a 2,000 metre race, to be honest. The way he went in the Hill Stakes, but
yeah. I'd love Territory Express to win this. I think I might have gave a little case for him in the prelude. Him and Yellow Brick. I think, he drew 11 of 11. He's actually drawn not a bad gate here, barrier 7. So, and he'll probably come in after some of these emergencies scratch. So I think he could sit a little bit closer. He has a mighty turn of foot, this horse, and it's a micro stable. So I'd love to see him win. And he's at 650. I could have a play at that. And we've done it, mate. That's it.
Sheesh. Big day of racing.
Well, it's last day for thingies, isn't it?
Tipping.com, yeah. And look, not a lot of drifters got any points in the Melbourne Cup yesterday. I think there was about a dozen who tipped Akita Sushi, and maybe 1 or 2 had Warp Speed, and no one had the winner. Funny that. So, yeah, we've got the Oaks on Thursday. Obviously, we're recording on a Wednesday, so that's tomorrow for us. So you would have seen an email. If you're in the tipping comp, I'll send a reminder tomorrow morning to get your Oaks tip in. And then, there's 3 Group 1s on Champions Day at Flemington on Saturday, and that is it. We're not going to the 1,000 Guineas and the Rupert Clark.
It was all in the T's and C's.
It was all in the T's and C's.
But yeah, it's been good, mate. Thank you for listening. Our listenership this week has absolutely exploded. I'll show you after this.
Chief.
Unbelievable. Really good to see. Really healthy numbers. We'll be back on Sunday to hopefully unpack what was a sensational day of racing.
Wouldn't it be ironic if not a single leader won all day at Flemington on Saturday?
I would be shocked.
I'd be shocked.
But we'll see.
See yous.